you make it sound like all these organizations are highly functional, but if you look across sports, there are lots of highly dysfunctional organizations.
Indeed there are.
You can look across the pond at Premier League soccer. There's some very high functioning teams, some poor ones. One of the things that sort of strikes me is that in your organization, leadership, well, as you said, but it's literally a team sport, that there are actually many leaders. So you have to deal with owners, Mickey and Nick Arison. You have to work effectively with the Heat president, Pat Riley. Then you've got, who of course himself has won titles as a player and a coach.
Yep.
Then you've got Eric Spoelstra, and then you've got leaders on the court. So can you say a little bit about how all that comes together into the symphony that somehow made the NBA Finals last year?
So that's an interesting thing to think about. So a lot of lessons learned along the way. I would say one of the things that really works for us now is that we've all been doing this together for a very long time.
Yep.
And there's a level of trust that exists across all of those different folks. And we, to some extent, we all have our own lanes, which makes it a little bit easier. But it wasn't always that way. There's been some bumps in the road, and I think one of the things that all those people do well is to have open and transparent communication. And while we don't always agree, we've figured out how to disagree successfully. And by that, like, listen, in any sports organization, there's a business side and a sports side, and it should be a symbiotic relationship, but there are different goals. The sports guys, they want to win championships.
Mm-hmm.
The business side, we're trying to drive revenue, keep costs down, create and nurture a successful brand, and those things, if done well, work really well together. But it's really easy for this side to be selfish and for this side to be selfish. And I think in a lot of those dysfunctional organizations, that's what happens. I think we've had some success over the years, and I credit the Arisons for this 100%, is if there is a disagreement, it's okay, but what do we need to do for everybody to win, right? What's the solution where you get what you need and you get what you need? And I think that's the way we've communicated for a very long time now. And I give both Mickey and Nick a lot of credit for making sure that that's how things developed. But part of it is, I worked for Pat for the first 5 years that he was with us. I was his general counsel too, with all the trades, the free agent signings. I was in his strategy sessions in terms of how to build our team and our organization. So when I got this job, we already had a trust built up and a respectful relationship, and that's something that's carried through to this day.